Okay, so drawing Cyberpunk in perspective, traditionally with perspective grids. Let's do this kind of white frames. So here we have this like down shot, some kind of roof view, and I will draw it with the curvilinear perspective. We'll make like curved horizon line. So let's say so this horizon line here, then vanishing point for y-axis will be somewhere here below. So this our y-axis here. And here is the vanishing point. Kind of like this, and then let's go curved above horizon line like this. Then, so use this horizon line. So there's like I've been explaining in one of previous tutorials about fisheye perspective. Here will be like this horizon line, and this will be x-axis like this. So here it will be straight, and then it start to bend to curvature of horizon line, and then here is continue bend opposite direction, and here some in between. Same here, like when x-axis go above horizon line, it will be like bent, like continuing bend over horizon line curvature. Okay, so this all grid need for this picture. Can make some marks of general shapes just to establish composition. So like I say, here practice is rebuilding, remaking this view, not just copying. So I'm not like practice accuracy inking, I practice creating this kind of backgrounds for my illustration or for comics. So if I draw from imagination, I will follow same approach. And it's kind of a standard approach, so because anyway you need to use reference, and this reference might be like some photo from real life or some screenshots from a game or from a movie, because you need some kind of inspiration or hints. So you kind of need this skill of kind of analyzing and taking off like required elements, something what you want, not just draw everything you see, but deconstruct and take out some elements you want. So if like all landscape here is like a curved one point perspective, then car, this flying vehicle, is like 2-point perspective. So I just kind of can find the vanishing points for this car. So even like, let's say if I have horizon line here and I want to draw a car here, right? So I have like decided place and proportion of this car, and now I want perspective grid for it, and I can say like, okay, here will be left vanishing point for this car, or let's say this is Z, and somewhere here will be second vanishing point outside of picture, so like this, right? So this is already work like a grid. It's a perspective grid. If you practice before drawing perspective grids, it will be clear for you, because if I want, I can extract any lines from here. So Z, okay, Z, you know, is vanishing point, so I just can add any lines that converge to this vanishing point. This X, okay, I already have this kind of relationship between horizon line and this X line, so it's kind of convergent established here. So like I teach about drawing perspective grid, all I need to do is just draw middle kind of line, like subdivide it, and I can subdivide it more times. So even if it's not super proper lines, it still works. So this is perspective grid for this 2-point perspective, and then you can draw a car here. So, but for me, I even don't need to draw all these lines. And if you practice, like do some practice from my tutorials, you will see how simple is it. So you don't need kind of make so much lines, so it will confuse you. That's why like you choose one grid as a base grid for environment. And then if you want to draw car, okay, you can just draw like this angle. It's already show you what grid you have for a car. This kind of thing. So it's like this, what you need to understand, kind of this relation about theory and practice, because there is like theory about perspective. You need to know theory, you need to at least once to be introduced to main concepts, but only through practice you will understand these concepts, you will understand theory, and different practice will give you different understanding. Because one thing is you practice some exercise like drawing boxes. Another practice is like when you practice to draw some actual work, like illustration or don't know, like backgrounds for comics. So here is kind of drawing is similar to every other discipline. That's why adult people, they improve very fast with drawing, because they have already some experience in some disciplines, in anything, you know. Even driving car give you some like important idea, kind of foundation, so you can understand how just general principles of improvement and practice work. I also, like for myself, I've been like find this interesting comparison with martial arts. So it's like also there is theory, there is practice, there is training, and actual fighting, and also different fighting. There is like sport environment, and there is like street environment, or like real life fighting. So you have like a general skill, so you need to kind of practice some general skills. You need to have some general body like condition, so just be in a good shape. And there is also theory. It's kind of myth and misunderstanding, like boxing, for example, right? There is theory of boxing. There is books. You can listen some instructions. There's a lot of theoretical material actually, which you kind of you need to understand how it works. It's not just dumb physical thing. It's very interesting, very nuanced. So without some idea, without theory, still you cannot do it good. So you need theory. And this all kind of intertwined, because not any, like every part depends on each other. So for better practice you need study theory. To understand theory you need to practice. And if you practice for one thing, don't expect you will be good in other thing, because it also requires some practice. Hello, Super Spank. Spark. Super Spark. So same like with perspective or with a drawing, it's kind of very interesting. We have so many aspects, so many sides kind of what we need to do. It's like multifaceted. But also I think like to have clear idea of these facets, kind of these sides, it's also helpful. So you can see it's like a map of this structure. Yeah, it's like RPG game kind of. You can see this map of a tree of skills, and you can see like how skills depend from each other. And also like some skill help develop other skills, but also when it's like you cannot abandon practice of each skill, kind of. If you practice one thing and you didn't practice other thing, it's just stop in development, kind of, right? So don't expect you will be getting better at it. So like me, I have also a lot of like study drawing, clothing, anatomy, colors. And I just say like for this month I stop my practice with colors. I kind of maybe a little let it go for a bit to make it also. No, sometimes you just switch for other thing, you know. So you practice hard one thing, then you switch, then you come back, and you have more fresh eye. So I prefer this approach. But line art, I kind of never stopped doing line art. just sketching every day. Same anatomy, just sit and reading all these books, drawing, practice, and after like you're almost explode, your head cannot work anymore, and it's like, okay, I need to break. And we just like stop for a while with like this hardcore study, and you can switch just for some like daily pose sketch. So, and when you practice all this, like there are all these exercises and theory. Also, don't forget to try it out. It's kind of like what is all about, right? This is why you study, is to make some actual illustrations, some build your portfolio and stuff. So this should be actually your constant like side activity. So on the one hand you always draw your kind of main work, illustration or again whatever, and on the other hand, like during same day or week, you just study, you just kind of practice doing like some particular aspect, like isolated work. Yeah, and also like if you're a beginner, then also you need to understand as earlier as possible that is just kind of necessary base thing is to draw a lot. So you kind of also need to organize yourself in a way so you will always draw like at least like 5 hours in a day. Like when I was studying art college, we have like 5 days a week, we have 6 hours drawing in the college, and then we have a lot of homework, so we need to, so it's kind of like always more homework than it's actually possible to do. So you go back from college, you keep drawing after, and then all weekend you also draw. So you can think about like how can you organize yourself so you will always draw. This kind of really how it works, kind of. You need to think, because there are so many different activity, different practice you can do, so it's actually very easy. Instead of stop drawing, you switch from one kind of drawing to other. So it's like when you don't have energy or inspiration or mood, you just make copies, you make studies, you make practice. When you're more like capable and you can think properly, kind of, okay, then you create your compositions, try to kind of making ideas and visualize kind of your ideas. And I have like a lot of like pure ref files with something like this, screenshots of environment or some figures, some artist who I want to study. So in these cases, when I just need to practice something, like I already know how to do it, but I need to practice more, this kind of point. So as beginner you might have this kind of moment when you think like I already know everything, when in reality kind of you always will realize like you never know kind of enough. So, and when you feel like you understand, okay, do it 10 more times at least. Just do a little like different like a same kind of view but little different, or is same view but you want to make it better, so you want to improve kind of some quality of it. So repeat is really important. So when you cannot think much, when you're tired or you have art block, there's a lot of stuff you can draw. So in that sense, art block, it's a myth. It's just a mature concept. Because if you have plan, you cannot have an art block. So if you have art block, it means you don't have plan. You don't really kind of organize your work. You don't organize, like, don't plan ahead, kind of like what are you doing, what is the goal, what is purpose. Because actual work is about organizing process. It's not only about drawing, and definitely not about being in the right mood. It's like you are owner of your emotions, not kind of enslaved by emotions. So if your emotions kind of going out of control a little bit, just ignore them for some time. They will calm down and come back apologizing, say sorry. Sorry disturbing you from your work. Kind of, we'll try to help you now. because what they for if they cannot help you do your work, get to your, like, materialize your plans. If they cannot help you with that, then it's just distraction. And you know, like, there is many kind of distraction, and emotions is like least problematic kind. At least emotions don't punch you in the face, you know. Or it's not like -20 temperature. You cannot die from emotions, like from like frozen from feeling to death, kind of. Because, like, you know, like I've been drawing outdoors, like -15 for sure. It's like I've been in the hospital once because, like, you know, on kind of stay on the cold too long. No, I've been actually make oil painting of a sunset, and it was okay. It was kind of a little chilly, but I think it was fine. So then sun kind of go away, and it's like somebody turned switch, became like super cold immediately. So kind of like I still finishing, like I finish my kind of oil painting very quickly, gather all stuff and walk to bus. So it took about 40 minutes maybe all. So I've been already kind of cold, and still I was like about 40 minutes outside, and some kind of like immunity system don't was ready kind of this time. So I've been kind of after was in the hospital for this. So heat and cold, it can be like serious problem. Be careful. Moss HD, how many vanishing points I'm using here? Yeah, right now I have this Z vanishing point, I have this Z vanishing point, and somewhere here I have vanishing point for like X. So total 3 vanishing point almost visible here, and for Y it's like vanishing point here for vertical lines for Y. So you can watch, I have tutorials about how to draw perspective grids, and my main kind of my main insight and point in perspective is that you actually should more think about perspective grids, not vanishing points. And I have kind of simple technique help you to build perspective grids. Then I was like drawing in the old district, some old house, and some local guy, like very drunk, approached me. He said like, "Hey, you draw my house." I say, "Okay, cool, your house very cool." He like looked very angry at me. Then say like, "I know," he go away, and after he come back, and I think because I was already kind of going to gym, so I don't look too easy maybe for him. No, and I kind of was bigger actually, so he wasn't sure. He kind of keep calculating, like trying to predict how many chance he have. So he walk around, and come back again and say like, "Hey, draw my portrait." I think like it's kind of exactly what I wish to do, because because he's so funny, like, you know, like so funny story, like I drawing some building and there's some guy who live in this building, like very funny character. I said, "Cool, yeah, I will draw you." So I draw him and he's like, "But if you draw me no good, we will fight." I say, "Okay." And there's like some children start to like gather around. I think they look thinking it will be like some fighting, but eventually she just walk away. He didn't see portrait actually. I think, yeah, because I draw him like very realistically. Maybe I think he don't like it if he see, but he prefer don't watch. Thank you, Moss. Tonal is it driving on the left freehand or using ruler? Yeah, it's all freehand. And it's nothing bad actually using ruler. It's just different quality of work. I just more enjoy process when I draw freehand. And in this channel, in general, I talk about freehand perspective, how to draw without ruler. So ruler should be some kind of tool which you use to have some particular effect. So because like if you watch different artist work, like different manga or your favorite art, you can notice it's just different quality work. You cannot make sharp edges like seed meat if you don't use ruler. You cannot make architecture like Katsuhiro Otomo if you don't use ruler. It's just this kind of quality. So like if you use freehand, it's kind of more like Tsutomu Nihei style. It's like a blame. You can see blame, and I prefer Tsutomu Nihei. For me, like Katsuhiro Otomo, little too much technical. Like no, I mean like his architecture lines looks a little more technical for me. I prefer more vivid, more free. Yeah, freehand is kind of, and you can do pretty fine work with freehand. So it's just, let's do this one. just like I say, it's about your real understanding mostly. I can even draw with the left hand, so it's not about like hand or ruler. It's just about do you really understand what are you doing. So here we interesting view, because like again is this example which make kind of view can make you confused, like say, oh, so many vanishing points, I'm so scary, you know. And then you kind of need to actually make some simple perspective grid for this, and then find like for particular like individual object, if it's rotated or have like more vanishing points, you will just find vanishing point later. So let's say here. So first will be like, no matter how many vanishing points here, they all have this kind of same y-axis. So we establish this kind of tilted y-axis, tilted vertical axis. Then they all have same horizon line. So again, it's something what unite all of them. And we can look where is horizon line. This roof, we can see how it's moving up. So it means horizon line above, like higher than this roof. This roof kind of little moving down, or it's almost parallel. So I will kind of assume like horizon line is here. It's kind of on this level. So this kind of important, because then you will know which surface or which vanishing point is above horizon line or below horizon line. So it means like which surface is parallel to ground or which surface is inclined, like moving up or moving down. So like this one, this is surface is parallel to ground. So if we, and this, like they have, even if they have different vanishing points, they have same horizon line. So horizon line about here, and I can find some points. I'll say like, okay, kind of here, kind of on this roof here, and maybe on this wall here. See. Okay, anyway, and then you see this part of road, it's not parallel to ground, is going downwards, it's kind of downhill. Same this one, this kind of road junction is going downhill, is not parallel to ground. Same here with this car, kind of like going like approaching from downhill. So we have this kind of overlap of three cars, and we see some rooftops here. And this also will be easy to draw when you have this kind of clear establishment of a horizon line. And this one, let's say also the stairs is going uphill, moving on both horizon line. So let's say so I have horizon line, and now I make some establish main elements of this view. So let's say So on trick with environments and actually almost everything you draw in perspective, it's like you simultaneously work with 2D and 3D because everything has this kind of shape. So now, right now, kind of I make composition of 2D shapes just to see what is placement and general proportions of each object or group of objects. So some objects they're like more about being united in one group. Some objects they're like clearly stand out, and then sometimes like some cases like you make a group of objects and then you define each object within group, but you start with general, so going from general to particular. So now I kind of at first make this general composition with very kind of like a cloud shapes without trying to make it too clean and detailed. So here will be vanishing point for this surface with the stairs. More here, so here will be this vanishing point. And here will be vanishing point for Z trace for a downhill of this road on the front. Let's find for this house. So in here a car standing on this inclined surface. So this car kind of following this vanishing point here. So if I take so this car like a box, so it following this Z trace vanishing point below horizon line. So because car standing on a downhill surface. No, let's say, okay, if here is horizon line, this downhill vanishing point, let's make uphill vanishing point here. So these cars here, from this uphill, they will follow this vanishing point. No, maybe it's too strong. Or I move here. So it's like if we have horizon line, let's say here, vanishing point, then vanishing point for downhill, and vanishing point, maybe I move more here, because seems like road turns there. So here's this Z trace for uphill. Let's go here like this. So car following this Z point here. This так. Same, it can be vanishing point for this stairs. So like you see again, it's like I'm not copying exact view, I redrawing, recreating. So I kind of analyze, break down to main components and recreate these components. So one of these kind of components or aspects of this work, it's perspective grid, and perspective grids is about space, so it's like defining what is the conditions for 3D space in this particular view. So it's like, is wide angle, is curvilinear or linear, is a tilted camera or not tilted, like horizon line, like here is curved, here is straight. So all this is kind of this specification kind of for environment in which you create this scene. So like environment, like space at first, because first you have space, then you can place objects inside this space. And first you kind of make you place big objects, you arrange like how they relate to each other, like how they like relatively placed according to each other. And then when you have these big objects and big groups, you can place some smaller objects considering like relationship with this big object. So it's like at first you see building, and then you see windows in this building, then you see some like box in their building, lamp, maybe like here I see this, some Japanese lamp. Then you see maybe some poster or scratches on the wall, some pattern, some texture. So you go from big picture to detail. So roads go here. local cam image is here on the left corner. It's a screenshot from Cyberpunk. Yeah, thank you. Так. Так. Yeah, let's do this one too. So this one is like 1 point perspective here. So we can make vertical lines just straight like this. And then horizon line about here. Yeah, and here is a vanishing point in the center, so it's easier. Now again, just establish main elements. So just see where is these big groups. And again, I kind of keep repeating it because it's really neat to be clear, imprinted idea in the mind that you should be precise with your goal. So it's like, what is purpose of your practice? What is purpose of your artwork? Like, what do you want to achieve, right? So in this kind of practice, for me, I practice of making a picture with such view. So I want to practice whole sequence of building it from scratch. So if I use reference, I use it only as a source of ideas and information. I am not following it exactly because I'm not practicing copying. So my goal is not to practice copying, like practice accuracy in copying some reference. I practice to build different environments and perspective. I practice going through sequence of picture making when you start from grid, then you go to composition, then you go to details. Because this is special skill require attention and deliberate practice. The more you practice it, will better, and you will better at it, you will improve faster. Because each time you have like better understanding of this process. Hello, Filippo. I have this reference, like, there is a YouTube of Cyberpunk gameplay in YouTube. Some kind of, how they call, like a beauty of Cyberpunk Night City, something like this. There's always a lot of video from different games. So I just make screenshots from video. So if you're new in my channel, I have many tutorials about perspective, how to draw fish eye, how to draw curvilinear perspective, 5-point, 6-point, and it's like focus on freehand illustration, like also a comic book artist, travel artist, because I've been like travel artist more than 10 years, and it's just not enough hands to carry ruler when you draw outdoors, you know, one hand holding paper, other hand drawing. Like, yeah, I might sit, of course. I can take some chair and sit with a ruler, but I don't like. I prefer draw freehand. So, and there is like technical perspective, you know, like for engineers, for designers, architects. They teach you how to draw with ruler and compass. I'm like talk about how to draw like proper perspective just without any ruler, and it can be like very complex perspective, even spherical 6-point perspective like Escher. I have video, I talk about this too. I have like demonstration of drawing Escher reflective sphere. Hello Twisted. And I have this brush pen with diluted ink, just some ink and water to make quick shading. With this ink I can do like light and dark grays. So it's very much like screen tones. Thank you, Welcome. And it's also kind of one of practice to make like tonal like find this grace on the picture. So you're kind of training this tonal vision with like very simple, like it looks very simple, very easy, but even like this you also kind of gain some mileage, some experience with defining tones, and sometimes you surprise how easy you can make a very interesting result. So it's also kind of help you to like draw faster and don't make too many unnecessary brush strokes in your illustrations, because you have this kind of experience of making very loose but kind of look all good work. I have some more examples. So like this I was like Raspberry tutorial. Here I have colors from, so same like even like watercolor, you see how many it's about gray colors, so like gray values. So it's very useful and simple practice. So let's see this one. So when I'm doing this shading without reference, I just kind of trying to make my environment like better readable, and I just apply this very general logic of like ambient occlusion, cast shadow. And also like abstract composition. So it's like you're building a contrast of light and shadow, like light shapes and dark shapes, or light and gray shapes. So just make sure like your points of attention, they stand against, like they have contrast. So have like if it's light side, so it will be on a darker background. If it's dark side, it will be on a lighter background. It's kind of very basic principles, so you can like doing some quick practice of it. So contrast must be where is your center of attention. It might be several centers of attention or only one. So, and it's also mean where is like secondary, something like you don't need attention, you need to make less contrast. So make like values closer to each other, less distinct. And it's not about achieving some perfect result. It's about try and error, about practice, about experimenting, about exploration. So it's like I'm exploring what I can do with this shading, with this light and dark, and I will see where I did some mistakes, where I can do better next time. So this is how you improve, by trying and make like reflection, analysis of your work, and if you find just one small mistake you can avoid in the next work, you like this you will improve very fast. If you, of course, if you also draw regularly, so you will have like each mistake, like one mistake each drawing, like you have like 50 drawing, okay, you already have like you fix 50 mistakes, or you get like 50 insights, you know. So this is one of the most important core principle of improvement, is just to have intention to make better work and see like where you can improve. So if you have this intention, you will always notice some element in your work you can do better next time in the next work. So in this how I was improving a lot, this how I've been developing my own vision, my style, my kind of, yeah, just something like what is really personal to me, because I didn't use like study books for fixing mistake. I've been developing my own solutions. So instead of trying to make like perfect work, and which will have like perfect in every aspect, you just do what you can do right now, and see at least one mistake you can fix next time. So with this approach you will achieve a lot of stuff. Okay, anyway, so it's kind of practice for today, some demonstration. You can see my other tutorials. I have, yeah, thank you, welcome, thank you for feedback. So I have like many specific tutorials about different kind of perspective. Just go look it. It's really helpful. Like many people like give feedback, and I know from myself because I make these tutorials. Like I want, like I know before. I want to see this kind of tutorials before, and there is nowhere information about this. So I've been like gather like many year of observation, like looking material in every different sources and books and tutorials, workshops. I have many tips from my own experience, and then I just kind of put it together and deliver to you in one video or like in a couple video, because it's really like many years of material, but thing is nobody even mentioned a lot of nuances. So it's like how to draw 6-point perspective, very hard to find anything, and also like how to rotate objects in perspective. So watch my tutorials, definitely will help you improve. Yeah, and I will appreciate your any comments, because just I like in general, you know, to see people feedback. So it feels like I'm talking with real people, so there is some interaction, and also your comments help my channel. So I will also be able in the future invite some other artists. I have this some artists who I really want to invite so they can share their experience. It's just we need more attention, so it will be reason for them to come to channel to meet, you know. We need to support artists, not distract them for our benefit, right? So yeah, also here I want to say thanks for my supporters, YouTube members and patrons. YouTube members Gabriel Moose, I will remember Korean name, forget, JVRB, William Peters, T. Smith, T.Y. Smith, Jackie Moon Movies, and on Patreon, Jonathan Edwards, for a long time support me, Martin Adams, B. Fox Comics, Kaya, Julian Gologassa, Clarissa Willenbrink, and Duke Doherty. Thank you very much for your support. Yeah, very cool. See you in the next live stream. Yeah.